This is Alaska, and you're watching Jamar84 on YouTube. Oh,
thank you so much.
What's going on YouTube?
Jamar.
What's going on YouTube?
Washington.
This is Jamar here once again.
Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Jamar84 here once again, here to discuss tonight's episode, of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 2. Baby, there was a lot happening in this episode, and there's going to be a lot to discuss. It's not even so much on the challenge and most of that. We're going to just have to discuss some people as individuals. So let's go ahead and get into it. First of all, everybody last week, I've been watching recaps about last week's episode in regards to the elimination of Tatiana and Alaska's reasoning, and Alaska's getting a lot of flack for her elimination decision because when they asked her, whenever they eliminate somebody, they kind of give like a explanation as to why they're about to eliminate who they're eliminating. And she mentioned how, each week this one queen has given elegance and grace to the main stage, and the other queen just lent me this shirt, so I'm going to eliminate the girl who gave me, who's been doing great. People say that didn't make any sense. Whereas the beginning of this episode, she tried to further explain it, saying that because Tatiana wasn't there and she missed a couple weeks, that's why I guess she tipped it more so in Roxy's favor, in addition to her lending the shirt. And it's not because of Alaska Talks. Let me tell you something. Alaska Talks has been in full effect the whole season. They may not want to try to admit it or say it outright, but it has been in full effect whole season. Since episode 2 especially, when Roxy and Detox were in the bottom for the first time with Tatiana, who went home? Roxy was in the bottom with Tatiana last week. Who went home? Roxy's been in the bottom 5 times. 5 out of 7 challenges. Mind you, Alaska's won 4 of those 7 challenges. And she's literally eliminated every other person that has been in the bottom 2 outside of Roxy. You cannot tell me that just because Tatiana missed those 2 weeks, that Roxy... What about the fact that Roxy's been in the bottom 3-4 times? Roxy's been in the bottom more so than Tatiana has missed episodes. So, Alaska, I love you, baby. But you was on some bullshit. You was on some bullshit today. And we're going to come back on you at the end of this episode. Okay, but we're going to move forward as for right now. And we see that Katya chose Roxy, which is why I have been such Team Katya since this season began. Really, I was Team Katya on season 7 when she was eliminated. It really didn't matter to me who won. Honestly, as long as it wasn't Ginger at the time. But I'm like, this is only the sensible decision. Tatiana did not deserve to go home. Last week, it should have been in the bottom, Roxy and Detox. And speaking of Detox of last week, she felt like she was casting a little bit of shade towards Alaska and Katya, because she said, she's frustrated with being safe and not winning, and how a piece of rolling tape and an empty spray bottle is somehow better than a trash can. Let me tell you, the difference between their products and yours, let me use Katya's as a real example. Because Katya's sold the product, okay? Of course, we know literally it's not a good product, but the challenge was to make a product, create the product, and sell it via commercial, and Katya did just that in a funny way. Where you went wrong was that your product could be seen as comical and possibly, worth selling, but your commercial was shit. It was terrible. It wasn't even cute funny. You see the hand in the back. No. It just didn't go off the right way. So I don't see why. You should have been the bottom for that. At least Tatiana's made me laugh. Okay, she may not have featured the product, whichever, but look, your product detox, as much as I love you, I love all the queens at this point, but some of y'all just need to, okay, because you just making fools of yourselves now. So Katya is saying that she wishes that she had won the lip sync. And I understand because Katya's lip synced, well, at the end of this episode, she would have lip synced 3 times. So she's won 3 challenges, which is. No, okay, well, I can't say that part yet, but she's won almost just as many as Alaska has. It doesn't seem like it because she's kind of been in the bottom a couple times, but behind Alaska as far as front winning this competition, Katya is right behind her. So, but I especially last week, I felt like she should have won that lip sync, but we couldn't see too much of what Katya is doing because they were so focused on Alaska. And speaking of Alaska, girl, Alaska's, saying, in the confessional, mind you, she's like, I really feel good about where I am in this competition, and I know all the other girls want to see me fall, and, I'd hate for me to be competition, but luckily I'm me. And I'm like, Alaska's never done this. We've never, at least from what I can recall, ever had a reason to have any dislike or disdain towards Alaska, but god dang. This episode, in conjunction with the past, the ending of the last episode is making me give Alaska the major side eye right now. She's feeling herself just a little bit too much. So, the Maxi Challenge, this is the makeover challenge where, they invited their moms and their sisters to come, and it was very nice. It was very emotional to see the queens with their loved ones. You had Alyssa's sister, Tabitha, came. Alaska's mom came. Detox's sister, Heather. Katya's mom. And Roxy's grandmother. Now, they were all really, really cute. You can see a lot of the family resemblance. Like I said, Katya and her mom look just alike. Like, they have the same whole structure going. So, they was almost like twins, really. So, when they pan over to Katya and her mom discussing, like, the whole idea, she says, well, my idea is I want to be like a sexy Russian trophy bride, and you can be like, she said, I want to be the sexy Russian trophy bride, and one of us can be like, the peasant mom. And she's like, oh, okay, well, which one am I going to be? So, and of course that made Katya laugh. Like, you can tell, like, that's where she kind of gets her sense of humor from. I thought that was really, really cute. And Alaska and her sister, Alyssa and her sister, were reflecting on their mother because tomorrow, or the day of the actual runway, would be the anniversary of their mother's death. And Alyssa explained how she, when they put her mother in the ground, she kind of distanced herself. She kind of threw herself into her work and kind of separated herself from her family so that she wouldn't have to, I guess, face the fact that her mother was gone, which is a very common thing to do. It's a very common grieving tool to remove yourself from the environment that makes you think about or face something that's painful. It's kind of like a Band-Aid, because even though you may not be dealing with it then, you're gonna deal with it eventually, and it might be worse down the line because you would have held on to it and let it fester for so long, and it just might get worse if you try to wait and to just let it out when it happens. So, I totally understand that, but she's glad she's kind of dealing with it now, seeing her sister. But they're really supportive. Her sister doesn't seem to show any kind of, ill will towards him leaving. She understood why he separated himself, so that was really, really good to see. Alaska and her mom, she's really proud. She says, I won 4 challenges, and she's like, oh my God, I'm so proud, this, that, and the 4th. But she's like, but that doesn't mean anything. So I mean, it was good to see, you know, their interaction. It's good to see everybody's. Uh, and when they do like the walk around, RuPaul was asking, you know, went over to Katya's table and she said, you know, you're the only one from that's not from season 5. And said, do you feel like the other girls are conspiring against you? And she's like, well, it kind of, I mean, they have a stronger bond with each other between, you know, of course, Alaska, Detox, uh, and Roxy and Alyssa, who are all at least on the same season together, and they've only known Katya through, you know, maybe DragCon or just RuPaul related events or touring. Sorry, I have to throw a notification away. But yeah, you just it's kind of like, well, if we want to kind of bring season 5 to the forefront, you know. So it can be kind of a scary situation to see, like, if they ever have a chance to put her on the bottom, she's gonna go home, you know. So the Maxi Challenge, in addition to the makeover, they have to do like a little Vogue, you know, type situation. Yeah, okay. They have to do a little Vogue down the runway and whatnot. So I was like, oh, okay. They had that Anastasia lady come in and try to do the eyebrows. That whole portion seemed pointless because I really forgot that happened at the end of the episode. Anyway. So, oh wait, we didn't talk about. I forgot to talk about Detox and her sister. My bad. So, last week, apparently during the last week or the last couple episodes, was the anniversary of Detox's father passing, and I actually was listening to the Detox episode over on RuPaul's podcast with Michelle Visage. What's the Tea? Y'all go check that out. And she mentioned how her father was when she was on season 5. At the time, her father was really, really sick, and they hadn't had the best relationship. Like when he was sick, right before she went on season 5, they were just starting to really blossom and develop their friendship or their relationship as father and son. When he was, you know, doing drag, and he talked about how she used to perform at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando, where they had that shooting happen. And she was there with Roxy at the time when they're starting drag, and she talked about how proud she was and how happy she was to see her father watching her drag show. And you can only imagine, like, if you're finally in a place to where you can be yourself and you're doing something that you love to do, and you have this family member that at first wasn't able to accept you and has now decided to come out and showcase their support for something that's important to you, it's going to mean a lot. It really does mean a lot for those, you know, of us that are in the community where our families who we may have known them to be, you know, kind of distant, or they may not have thought they would accept us for who we are, to come and show that kind of support. Like, it really does mean a hell of a lot. So that was a happy story to hear. And Detox and her sister look a lot alike. They really do. They got the whole same facial structure going on, so you can really tell that they're related. Let's see. So we want to get to the. I guess they had 2 runway looks, because they had the looks that they had with their family members in a separate runway, which I wasn't sure if that was the case. So, I want to talk about RuPaul's and her gown. Like, I liked her gown. It was really glittery. It was flashy. The light was reflecting off of everything, but I didn't like the hair. The hair was a little. I mean, I guess it was supposed to be like teased 80s rock, but it just didn't work with the super glamoury, flashy gown she had. You know, it seemed like you should have saved the hair for like a more punk, edgy type of look than the gown. Okay, the hair didn't match the gown to me. Maybe I don't know if I'm the only one, but y'all let me know if you're picking up what I'm putting down. You know, so. We get Alyssa and Ava Edwards. And for my notes, I wrote big hair and purse first. Which is definitely Alyssa, all the here, there, and everywhere, with big hair, extra. Just whenever Alyssa's Edwards brand is just extra. Whatever that means to you, extra hair, extra fabric, extra oomph, and whatever, extra energy, just extra. So I felt like she definitely put that on brand tonight. Alaska and Hawaii, they had like the little black and white Cruella de Vil ensemble going, and they pulled out the big high flag thing. And when they did the little Vogue, her mom, I guess she was out there in flip flops, and then she went underneath her and had the little horse mask. I'm like, oh, okay. um, Detox and Dorama. I guess I don't know if it was supposed to be a play on words somehow, but it just looked like it would be pronounced drama. I'm not sure. But they were kind of like giving me origami superhero type deal. It was cute. Had like a lot of various abstract shapes on it, which I was like, oh, okay. And the beat was very similar. It looked really, really good. Katya and I feel like Svetlana, that last name, I'm not even going to try. Rupaul didn't even get it right. And even when Katya gave us the answer of how it pronounced, I'm not going to try to pronounce that again. But Svetlana, like Katya was coming out and they had like this whole role playing situation where it was like Katya was, her mom was being all timid and Katya was trying to, rush her to come on. And it was just really, really funny. Like her mom acted and played that part to a T. It was perfect. I loved it. I really did. Sorry, somebody tried to dial my phone, but so yes, like I said, Katya's was really, really cute, and I definitely think that her mom played that role the best of all the moms. Roxy and Raquel, I like their outfits. I love their wigs, but and her grandmother is so cute. Like she is so precious, and of course we were reminded of their backstory about how Roxy was left alone at 3, and our grandmother was the one that stepped in. Now I thought they were going to give like more insight as to, is this your father's mother or your mother's mother? And if it is your mother's mother, is he going to say like why she had to leave? That's what I was expecting. That's what I was wanting to kind of connect those dots. But, I guess you can't share everything on television, all your family business. So we'll take it. We'll take it. So everybody does their, their own individual runways, and everybody's runway was great. But here's what I want to talk about. So when they got to the critiques, they finally called Alaska out on her mistakes, because through this entire competition, Alaska has gotten away with so much. There has been stuff that, like for example, I want to say they read Alyssa on her two-way look because of how it looked before, and then granted the after look was okay, but I guess it wasn't a one look. But yet Alaska literally just came out in a trash bag and had her, and granted her pound cake look was amazing. It wasn't two different looks. It wasn't. And even last week with the fashion tape, everybody, came up with like a legitimate sort of product and sold it. Like her fun fashion tape just didn't, I guess because, Alaska's kind of funny, but it just didn't come off like tape though. Like, I don't know. I was kind of in agreement. Like, they feel like Alaska's kind of getting away with a lot of stuff that a lot of the other queens would not have been able to get away with. And I felt like, I still just feel like Tatiana and like Alyssa's commercials were better than Alaska's. Personally, I would probably watch them again before Alaska's. And again, I love Alaska, but I just felt like they're setting this up so obviously for an Alaska win, and she doesn't really need that. Like, she's strong enough. I feel like she's strong enough to do it on her own, So we learned, because I stopped the video. I stopped the taping, and I gave my predictions where I was like, okay, based off of what they just said, it looks like Alyssa's going to be safe, and the bottom two is going to be Roxy and wait, what did I say? I said the top two was definitely going to be Katya and Detox, and I said the bottom two was going to be Roxy and Alaska. That's what I said. And Alyssa was going to be safe. That was my prediction. However, Rupaul just said, fuck all that, and congratulations, Katya and Detox, you're the top All-Stars of the week. Okay, I was right there, but then she said, well, this week, there's no safe. If you're not the top, you're up for elimination. I was like, oh, SHIT, Shocky Mushrooms. Because, I guess there's only 5. So it's kind of hard to say who's in the bottom, who's safe, and all that stuff. So Alaska's finally in the bottom, and let me tell you, this deliberation situation, let's talk about this. Let's talk about it. Detox calls over Alyssa and Roxy and talks about how, I've loved you for 13 years, I hate to make this decision. And, Alyssa's kind of splitting her case like, look, you've been in the bottom 5 out of 7 challenges. I've only been in the bottom twice. That should be considered. It only makes sense. But then again, this is Detox's decision. She can take everything into consideration. And then when Katya tries to pull Alaska to the side, it was so awkward. Like, they said that they don't really know each other very well. And, Alaska's their biggest competition. And so she was saying, I really want to stay here. I messed up. And Alaska just had this whole funk. Like as soon as the deliberation started, she just started to get completely out of drag. And she was just acting all bratty. And I'm just like, what is this? Like, this is not cute. She was like, oh, it sucks. I messed up and blah, blah, blah. And this is where it started getting bad. Was after she talked with Katya, she was started cussing to say, I just can't effing, I should be in the effing top 4. Sorry, I'm going to learn to just start putting my phone on airplane mode when I do my video recordings, because not everybody wants to call me about Drag Race. Let me record the shit first. Anyways, I'm almost done. So Alaska starts cussing and whatnot, and she just started having this whole hissy fit. And this is the kicker. She started to bribe. She was like, I will give you $10,000 to stay in the competition. And everybody's looking at her like, are you serious? Like, what you're doing is very childish right now. And it started to skew my decision making that I was going to do before. And yeah, because it's all right. Even if I loved Alaska and I was, trying to be with the sisterhood and all that stuff, that episode that she just gave me talking about how she felt like she deserved to be in the top 3 and try to bribe you and throw in this whole hissy fit, I would have been like, nope, bye, goodbye. Even I would have did that just because of that. But honestly, if we're being real about the situation, if there was ever a chance where Alaska was in the bottom, and if I was any of those girls, girl, I love you, but I'm trying to win, and you've won everything in this challenge, so if you're gone, then I can win. I will be choosing Alaska all day, every day, to lead that competition. That's the only... Look, listen. Y'all can't tell me that if Alaska... This is the only chance that she had. This is the only chance y'all had to eliminate Alaska and give yourself a chance to win. Y'all ain't gonna take it? Please. I'm just saying, that's what Jamar would have done. I would have eliminated her in a heartbeat. There would have been no deliberation. Oh, Alaska's in the bottom. Oh, I got my lipstick. I'm ready. I'm ready to lip sync. Let's go. I'm just saying, that's real. I'm being real about it. Okay? So, Katya and Detox do this lip sync. And first of all, Detox's outfit was sickening. And I was wondering what she was gonna do, because it seemed like that was a whole like done up. I'm like, how is she gonna lip sync in that? But they did that Step It Up song by Rupaul, and I love that song off the Realness album. And Katya was really hamming up the comedy aspect of it. But Detox was started to like strip, and she showed her cakes and jiggled them. So I'm like, well, there's that. I said I knew then. And I'm like, that Katya has lip synced three or four times, and she just can't win these lip syncs. Bless it. But so Detox won, and she had to pick between Alaska, Alyssa, and Roxy, and she was getting really emotional, and she loved all three of them, but guess what happened? She picked Alyssa because it is not a part of what? Alaska Talks. Y'all can't tell me that I would have eliminated Alaska on sight. Are you serious? Detox girl, that was your chance. You could have possibly taken this, but you lit up. So to eliminate Alyssa, of course, everybody was sad, and her sister came back and, you know, gave her a hug, said, "You're always a winner in my eyes." So clap for Alyssa Edwards. I love her. She's still one of my favorites, even though a lot of people don't like her. I love Alyssa. And I'm glad she was able to pay tribute to her mother on the anniversary of her death. So shout out to you, Alyssa. Yeah. And so, let's see. Is there anything else I want to talk about? Oh, wait. There was that comment that on next week where Alaska, girl, again, trying it, where she said, so it's four of them now. They're crowning the winner next week, apparently. And it's Alaska, Roxy, and Detox, of course, and then there's Katya. And Alaska made the comment, well, the last time she was talking to, you know, Alaska Talks, the last time it was the three of us and a lovable weirdo, guess look what happened. And I'm like, oh, really? Oh, really? So they really are going to try to conspire against Katya, because I'm telling you, we're just going to wait and see. I just know that I am Team Katya. Okay, Alaska, girl, I didn't mind Alaska winning just because up until this point, she's been really lovable and, you know, relatable and kind and funny. But right now, I don't like her. She's giving me unfavorable and negative vibes. And yeah, I don't really want her to win anymore. I kind of would have a problem with her winning at this point just because of her whole attitude and how it just shifted 180. I want Katya to win just because I feel like she's kind of like an underdog and she hasn't been able to win any of her lip syncs, but she's still been winning and doing really well in the competition. Detox, I don't think will win just because I don't see it. Not above Katya or Alaska. So, and Roxy shouldn't even be there. No shade. She could be an all-star, but at this, she should have been eliminated a long time ago. But that was RuPaul's Drag Race episode, 7? Drag Family Values. Let me know what y'all think, because I want to know. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Like, share, subscribe.
Washington.